Lesson 16.9 is angles formed by chords, tangents, secants, level 2. The reason why these are level 2 is because we're going to have to kind of work backwards with the properties we just learned to find one of the arc measures. So it says if the measure of arc YS is 180 degrees, so that is going to be here. And that's actually meaning that's a semicircle. And the measure of angle QBI, so that's right here, is 137 degrees. Find the measure of arc QI. So this is one of those that looks like a railroad crossing sign, where it's got the arcs on either side of this angle inside the circle. And so remember that that means that we would add these things up, these arcs, and then half of that would equal this. So I'm going to set that up and call this arc X. So I would say that X plus 180 degrees divided by 2, or half of it, would have to equal this inner angle here. And then from there it's just algebra to solve. So I'd multiply by 2, 137 times 2 is 274, and then subtract 180. Which is 94 degrees. Okay, you could always check real quick too. Just make sure that the sum of these arcs here, 180 plus 94, and then half of that, or divided by 2, gets that angle on the inside, and it does. All right, let's try number 2. If the measure of arc HY, so that has to be a minor arc here, is 132 degrees, and the measure of angle Z, so right here, is 45 degrees, find the measure of IL. So again, this kind of reminds me of a flashlight shining light out. This one was where we subtracted the arcs and took half of that subtraction equals that angle. So I'm going to say 132 degrees. Make sure you're going in that order from big to small. Half of that, or divided by 2, needs to equal 45 degrees. So I'm going to multiply by 2 first, and that equals 90. Subtract 132. Which is negative 42. Doesn't make sense to get a negative angle, but because I have negative x, I'm dividing by negative 1, which means x equals 42 degrees, which is here. And again, you could just check to make sure that when I subtract the arcs and divide that by 2, oh, I got 90, divided by 2 does equal the 45. So that was where two secant lines intersected. And then last one, they tell you that line AC is a tangent line because you can see it's only touching at point A. And then measure of MAC is 57 degrees. Find measure of arc AM. Okay, so this one's easy because this is just our intercepted arc situation where we said that this is going to be double this, or this is half of this. So I just need to take 57 times 2, which would be 114. Is this. Something else I want to point out is, let's say they gave us this angle, but then they wanted us to find measure of arc AM on this other side. Say this was ALM, the major arc. There's a couple different things you could do. You could find this minor arc, and then since you know that there's 360 degrees in a circle, you could do 360 minus this. Or you could find the linear pair here, so that would be 180 minus 57, means that this angle's 123, and then you could double that to get 246 degrees for this outside, just so you know. And that 246 plus the 114 should make a complete 360.